So these old stories happen today in real life. There's this professional con artist who took up these professional jobs and swindled millions of dollars before his 18th birthday. Playing with people's emotions and their pride, he was able to impersonate a pilot, a doctor, and even a lawyer. My favorite part of his story is when he's impersonating a doctor. As head supervisor of an ER, he's called down and tricks two students into believing that he knows his stuff, when his only training is what he's seen on TV. It was a kid who had a bicycle accident and fractured his leg. He had no idea how to treat it. He was even sickened by the sight of blood. He played on their emotions as aspiring doctors and his position of power to deceive these students who had more training than he did. The con artist can be compared to two swindlers in a story called The Emperor's New Clothes. There's a king who's very prideful about his looks. He wore a new outfit every day. So these two swindlers came to his kingdom and decided to use this against him. They go to the king and boast their incredible tailor skills and their magnificent cloth. This magic cloth that only those who are intelligent can see. The king, of course, hires them. The king sends his advisors over, one after the other. They all report to the king and tell him how beautiful and how fine the fabrics are, even though there's nothing there. For they don't want to be considered stupid or bad at their jobs. The news of these clothes spread far and wide throughout his kingdom, through every corners of it. The king gives them even more money and more materials, and gives them more time to make this magnificent clothing. Eventually, the clothes are done, and he decides to wear the clothes to a parade. Everybody pretends to be in awe and ooh of his new clothing, for they too don't want to be seen as dumb. Then a kid sees the king in his underwear and says, "Hey, he isn't wearing anything." Children are innocent and honest, so they know the child is not lying. In the end, the king is still too prideful to admit that he's wrong, and continues to walk on shamefully. Too much pride can definitely hurt us. John C. Maxwell said, "Pride deafens us to the advice or warnings to those around us." So keep your pride in check, and you won't be tricked like the foolish king and his foolish officials.